Hi, DalaDFitness with day 18 of Let's Get Personal. You see the clouds? It's such a beautiful day. It's like a nice wind. Not hot, not cold. Just that perfect in-between weather. All right, so it's day 18. We are segueing our way out of this chapter of abuse, this chapter of turmoil, this chapter of violence, and just like, ooh. So I was thinking about what I was going to talk about. And actually, you know what I want to talk about today? Like, why I stayed for so long. Because we dated for a bit before we actually got married. And we were married for 3 years, at least 3 years. Like I said, I don't know the timelines. February 2004, December 2007, 5, 6, 7. Listen, math's not my forte. I think that's 3 years. So we're going to go with that. So we were married for all that time. 3 years is not a long time, but that's long enough, okay? Yeah. Why did I stay? And that's a good question. That's what I used to ask. What's the question I asked myself? Well, I used to ask myself, especially after the relationship. I was like, why did you stay for that long? How could you put yourself through all that for that long? Like, what the heck? And it's like, I felt sorry for him. You know, they say women have this thing where we try to fix people. Yeah, that's what it was. I thought he was someone who had such a poor upbringing. I mean, his mom loved him, but his relationship with his dad was very volatile. His dad was abusive to his mom. So he grew up seeing that, and it was just very dysfunctional. He had a very dysfunctional upbringing, and I tried to love him out of that hate because he hated his dad and he resented his mom. And I tried to love him out of that hate. I tried to show him a different way, like, you don't have to be like your dad. You can be opposite of your dad. Actually, his dad and I had a really good relationship. His dad was like the best. I used to go over there, eat some food. He would teach me how to make the food of their culture. He was Jamaican. Like, his dad was so cool, but he hated his dad. And like, I had no problem with the dad or the mom. We all had a great relationship. They loved me. I was their daughter-in-law, but he was just so angry and bitter, and he just carried this hurt around like the whole time of our relationship, and I couldn't love him out of it. I couldn't help him change. I couldn't fix that for him. That I was like, I'm trying to love him, but all I got was like pushback. You know, like, okay. So that's really in a nutshell why I stayed. And then towards the end, it was like, well, I might as well stay because I don't need to jump out there and start paying. Towards the end, that's why I stayed longer, because I was preparing myself for my exit. I was preparing myself for the single life and paying bills on my own. But in the beginning, I was trying to fix him, right? But that was a hopeless cause. And I remember I sat down with him, and I was actually talking to him, and I had like this, what do you call it, epiphany? Is epiphanous a word? I don't know, whatever. But like this moment of epiphany where I was just talking to him, and I was like, I don't love you like you love me. And I think it was me trying to wrap my mind around it, because he would always say he loved me so much, and it was very possessive and very controlling and trying to like squeeze me, and I was not one to be squozed. No, that's not a word, but that's how I felt. So I'm not one to be, and we were just so opposite. Like, I was like, this is not gonna work, because I'm just not the one that's for you, and I don't love you like that. I don't love you enough to not want to be with you. I don't love you enough to like leave you. I just don't love you enough to want to stick by you. I'm not sticking. No, this is crazy. This is madness. Like, who the heck would, what's the word I'm looking for? Stay in that situation long term. And I understand people do. People have kids. They have situations and circumstances that they just stay longer than they need to. But statistics shows that that's not healthy. It's not healthy for anyone. It's not healthy for the individual. It's not healthy for any children they may have. It's not a healthy situation. And as someone who's been in it, I can say for a fact that it's not healthy. It's absolutely horrible. And the amount of healing you have to do on the backhand of that situation, listen, it's still ongoing. Like, I have moments where I think about it and I'm like, oh, I got to do a cleansing, soul cleansing, and I have to like regroup and just what they call that, well, I'm gonna say big myself up and feed into myself and pour into myself when those, so I've been doing a lot of that this month of October, as I have to, think about these situations and think about some of the experiences that I had in that domestic violence relationship. But it's all good. It's all teachable moments. It's all life lessons. It's a part of my story. If you're looking at the story of my life, that's one of the chapters. So it is what it is. I can't change it. I can't erase it. All I can do is learn from it, and I can teach through it, right? So that's what this is all about. That's what this is for. And that's been my goal for this whole month. And I hope that I am inspiring and helping. And mainly the biggest takeaway that I want from sharing this experience is for someone to have the strength to leave, or for someone to recognize recognize you are in a domestic violence relationship, recognize that a relationship that you may be in could get there. Like, here are the signs. Like, if they're comfortable calling you out of your name, it could get there. Yes, I know there are some people who talk like that, but I question that. If someone really loves you, are they gonna call you like all the kinds of names in the book? I've never seen that from my dad, and John doesn't do that. So I don't, if it works for your relationship, it works for you. It's not something that I tolerate, and I'm not saying that that's something that's going to lead to domestic violence. It's just been my experience, and I can't deal with it. I can't. So, just putting that out there. Take it or leave it. You don't have to take all the words of a messenger. Just take what works for you and what helps your life, and leave the rest with that messenger. Okay? So that's all I have for today. It's a beautiful day. Look at the sky. It's so amazing. Can you guys see that? I gotta do a twirl for you guys. Oh, God is glorious. Okay? Oh, look, y'all lost me. All right, I'm gonna get going tomorrow. I just did a quick, why'd I say? And I felt like that was important, because people probably why is someone put their hands on you? Why are you gonna say? Because I thought I could change him, but I couldn't. God did not send me for you. I am not the one. God gonna have to send someone else to fix you. It's just not me. And that's the answer in a nutshell. Okay? So tomorrow I'll talk about some signs. Maybe when we were dating. Hindsight 2020. Yeah, that's a sign that he was going to be abusive. Yeah, there were those. I just didn't recognize them at the time. Mind you, I'm 19. Dumb. Have a good night. Bye.